Everything we know about dragons is wrong.
Welcome in. If you're sitting there trying to figure out how to train your significant other, this is not the episode. Welcome to another episode of the Critics Collective. I'm sitting here with Manny and Iris, and we're going to talk about how to train your dragon. We're going to talk about the new one that just came out in 2025, rated PG-13, with a running time of 2 hours and 5 minutes. Whether that's good or bad, we will find out. Now, when I say check us out, and you guys have been checking us out. At this point, we've hit 11,000 subscribers, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the follow button, like, and all that other great stuff. Check out Ballerina. We just did a review for that one, so check that out. Now, for how to train your dragon, IMDB says, as an ancient threat endangers both Vikings and dragons alike on an island, a friendship between Hiccup, an inventive Viking, and Toothless, a night fury dragon, becomes the key to both species forging a new future together. With that being said, Iris, what are your highs and lows of this movie?
So I'm gonna start with my highs because I really didn't have that many lows for this one. I like that they stayed true to the storyline. They didn't really try to hey, let's do a live action, but let's make it our own, like fucking Disney's been doing. I gotta throw that out there. So I do appreciate that they finally gave us, hey, we know what the original looked like. We know what the story for the original looked like. Hey, let's see what it would look like in live action. And I liked it. And I have to say, maybe many may not agree with me. I do like how all the dragons look, like the CGI for them. I actually liked it. I like that they stayed to what our cartoon version character kind of looked like and tried to make it as realistic as possible without really changing what we were expecting to see. A lot of the dragons really, they looked like how we would imagine them to look in real life. I say that with quotes around it, in real life, compared to what the cartoon gave us. I really did appreciate that. I really liked the cast. I know a lot of people had negative things to say for who they cast as Astrid. And I think the young lady who played Astrid did a great job. I think everyone who was placed in their role did a great job. You can kind of see that they did their best with making it their own, but also staying true to the original characters we fell in love with in the cartoon. And I have to appreciate, they gave us, a little curvy mama for the twins. Because, in the original cartoon, both the twins were these skinny horse face characters because their heads were so fucking long. They did their best with making the brother close to that. The brother of the twins close to that. But I like that they did go a little different with the girl. But I think she did very well as the twin sister, both boneheaded, and how they played off each other. Really, really good. And of course, Gerard Butler, who gave us the voice of the dad in the original, and he was actually cast as the dad here. And of course, I really think they did that because he had such a distinct voice as the dad, that I think if they would have cast anyone else to play him in the live action, I really felt like it would have taken away from that character. So I have to say, I really love the cast. The setting itself for the island of Berk, they did a really great job. It did look really like what they gave us in the cartoon, especially in the beginning where they kind of give you like an overview of what the island looks like. I don't know. I really loved it. I really I really loved it.
So
So
did
those
you
were
have any
my big
lows?
highs.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
to be honest with you, not really. I mean, I would say maybe my only low was like the run time. I don't really think, 2 hours, like really, but I don't know. It kept me engaged throughout those whole 2 hours. So I mean, I guess it's a low, but not really, So no, I didn't really have lows for this one. I really enjoyed it. So
Okay. Manny, highs and lows.
Uh, so pretty much agree with Iris as far as them sticking to the formula of the original one. As far as storyline goes, and the one thing I like with them bringing back Gerard Butler for as the dad. CGI, it was pretty much point to point. Every creature looked like the same creature in the movie. I also agree with that. The character, we'll jump into that later. But as far as the movie go, pretty much it felt a bit like the original, but the first half of the film I would say is my low, because throughout the first half it felt like the acting wasn't there. Like it felt more like a Disney film to me. Like
Okay.
I wasn't into it as much. I don't know, something felt amiss as far as like when the first half of the film when it started. I don't know what it was, but it didn't feel like, I don't know. I couldn't put myself in there compared to the original where I was like into the film as much as it was. It just felt like a Disney original to me. As far it didn't really picked up to like I didn't really get into it till actually Toothless was more involved in the film, and the whole ordeal with Hiccup with his dad and having to prove himself and all that. But throughout the first half of the movie, from beginning to end, I was like, I didn't really felt much into it. It just felt like like the whole Disney original, even though it's not a Disney film, but it just felt like original. But other than that, the film, I enjoyed it. The whole CGI, even that scene where Hiccup is riding Toothless, I was like, man, you know what? They better make a ride in Universal where I could like a Toothless ride just like that, because I want to do that. That I really enjoy, and that's at that point I was into the film as far at that go. And towards the end, I was all in. But it's just that first half where they're introducing you to everybody, I was not into the film at all. But that, and also the I don't know, the main actor who played Toothless, I didn't feel the same way I felt as like the original actor who played Hiccup. What's his name? Jay Brochel. I don't know. He didn't feel that. I didn't feel that awkwardness I felt from, even I know it's a voice acting, but I didn't feel like that awkwardness I felt from the original actor who played Hiccup, even though it's again animated. But I don't know. I was just getting that from him. But towards the second half, it was more. I was more like, okay, I'm getting into it now. But the first half, it was like miss me with that.
Okay. And that's your highs and lows for that one?
Yeah, CGI was great, but other than that, after the second half picked up, I was all into it as far as the character. It just started feeling more and more and more like the original animated film, and it just paid off for me towards the end. And I would say, like, even the way it ended, I like how the film ended with the end
No
credit scene.
spoilers. Okay.
It's not real.
Oh, okay. I was just in case. I was all right. I know
But
it's been out long enough.
I just like how it ended, with the. But that was about it.
Yeah, it did have a good ending. Yeah, there's no spoiler on the ending. It was just a nice way they kind of packaged everything together. So then for me, my highs and lows, and I'll go with I know we don't do expectations. Sorry, Mr. Lingo. This is a movie that I've been waiting for because I've been always wanting to see the original, the 2010 version. And I was like, I'm gonna get to it. And this happened. I'm like, I might as well watch it. With that being said, my low, start at the bottom, work my way up. my lows was that it was similar to what Manny's saying. In the beginning, the first half of the movie, because I guess maybe with live action, they felt like they wanted you to know the character more, have those hallmark moments. And I don't think that was necessarily needed. This movie is a little over 30 minutes longer than the original movie. And I didn't see why you necessarily had to do that. Now, the other part about it, just keep this in mind, I have never seen any of these. So I went into this completely new. And that's really the only part I have that I say that I don't like or didn't like about this movie. Everything else I enjoyed. I thought the animation on the dinosaur, or not the dinosaurs, the dragons and the world they created was really good. I love the detail in Toothless's his I guess the almost like a dog or an animal's ears would kind of perk up and stuff. I thought that was cool. The scent, there was someone who put something together to add those characteristics that might have been missed in the original to add that detail. I loved how the cast, like I didn't hear any backlash on the cast. That, I mean, I'm not doubting that there isn't, I mean, with today's world, but I thought the cast was great. Nico Parker, who plays an amazing job. I was like, man, I can't understand why I know her. She's Newton. Miss Newton is her mom. She was the actress in Westworld. She was the one that was one of the robots who was the Western, and she dated the Latin lover. That, and like that's why that look fit that look. I felt like Butler's voice was perfect. Nick Frost, the kid, the one who was plumpy, and he knew all the stats, like almost basically like playing Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or Dungeons and Dragons. I fucking love that. I love the twins, the dragons, and everything about this was great. And like Manny said, the CG was so good that I watched it in real, I guess real 3D. And when I saw it for the screening, it was crazy because like it felt like you could feel it as if it should have been a ride. You got that sense of that you were moving. And I thought they did a great job. I thought the music was good. Again, don't know this franchise, but I knew the music because I do listen to music and scores, stuff like that. So I heard it was familiar for me. Toothless is a heck of a character marketing because I wanted to buy merchandise with the green eyes and everything because he looks cool. He looks cute. My daughter's like, look how cute. And we've never seen the movie. So I say that to say all this. Marvel, DC, Disney, Lilo and Stitch. This is how you do a remake for a live action. Like, and I'm not saying that this is perfect. It obviously has its flaws, but we see too many times a big company goes up and fucks it up when you have the script, you have the fan base. DreamWorks is the dissing company that came from a firing of an executive from Disney Original. So it's funny how they're getting it right. This is their first live action of a remake that they've done, and they've knocked it out of the park. And I hope they make enough money to sprinkle in some of the other 5 or 7 How to, Train Your Dragons that's come out. So, okay, so it's already been. So like I said before, this is a fucking money train. Whoop, whoop, get on fucking board. Now, with that being said, let's rate this thing. Here, we rate it from a 0, which could be maybe a pig that flies. And pigs aren't bad that fly, but it doesn't really whoosh away. All the way up to excellent, which is a 5. A 5 is a dragon. It's a top tier dragon, whether Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons, or even Toothless. Whatever kind of dragon you would like to have, that is what you'll have here. Now, what I'm going to ask is if you can check us out for 3 minutes at a time. You can probably watch, I don't know, Karate Kid's Legend. We did that review. You can try Megan. We did that review. And we've got some stuff in anime. So go ahead and take a look at that and hit the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that. Iris, what are you rating this movie?
I freaking loved it. So I'm giving this one 5 accolades. I loved it. Okay. I love the original. I think it stayed true to the original. I didn't have that same feel that you guys had in the first half because that's how the original is. It introduces you to the characters, builds you up. So yeah. So for this, I think DreamWorks did an amazing job with their live action compared to Disney. So yes, This baby is getting a 5 for me.
All right, 5 on it. All right, Manny, what do you got for this?
No, I'm giving it a 4. It was good. I enjoyed it. But that first half, it just didn't sit right there with me. I think they could have put more effort into introducing those characters, especially for their first live action, where they have competition. But even though I feel this movie is gonna do probably great in the box office, I still think they could have done better as far as the introduction. But other than that, the payoff overall, the feel of it, even the whole dynamic with Gerard Butler and his son, just a son trying to prove his dad, I would say that I enjoy is,
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
4, it was a good movie and I enjoyed it. CGI was great, and everything.
oh, okay. All right. So we got a 5, we got a 4. I'm gonna follow up with Manny. I'm gonna give it a 4. Again, the beginning, just I wanted to pick up faster. Now, like I said, if I couldn't convey that enough, this made me jealous of younger people, because if you're a kid, a teen, and you get a chance to watch this at parts gave me feels of like Goonies or E.T. and stuff like that. So, and in the theater, people were cheering, laughing, joking, and you don't really see that a lot of times in movies, especially in the theater. So I would recommend to go ahead and watch this. I'm going to say this is a 4. Manny said it's a 4. Iris says it's a 5. Put in the comments what you think this movie is, and maybe we'll come back if we just get one like one dragon, we'll come back and we'll talk about the original, the one from 2010, the one with graphics better than Toy Story original. No shade. But you could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. We greatly appreciate that. Until next time, kalika-lika-lao.